A couple weeks ago, I asked President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, about Attorney General Bill Barr's findings that there was no widespread voter fraud. Take a listen how he answered.
I guess I was shocked because he hasn't investigated anything. So I don't know how he would have found evidence of fraud. At least he hasn't investigated the 300 or 400 witnesses who have direct evidence of fraud.
Rudy Giuliani is back with us. So, Mr. Mayor, now Bill Barr has been bounced by the president. I guess the president allowed him to resign. Was it because of the fact that he didn't really investigate too deeply into voter fraud, or was it, on the other hand, he had an ongoing investigation into Hunter Biden's laptop and dealings with Joe Biden in China, but never announced it prior to the election? What do you think it was?
You know, I really don't know which it was. It was either or both of those things. I'll tell you what troubled me the most, and that is the whole thing with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. For the life of me, I can't figure out what the Justice Department was doing sitting on that. And it's longer than you think. They've been sitting on it since something like October of 2018, when it first came to them from a U.S. attorney named Bud Cummings. So this evidence has been given to them almost like pushed in their face, maybe 5 or 6 times over the last 2 years. And they've never gone as far as to subpoena one witness. And the evidence is compelling. I mean, it's tape recordings, video recordings, documentary evidence of money laundering, 12 witnesses who have given affidavits under oath. It's the kind of testimony that the FBI normally jumps right on top of. So what they did instead was they delayed for 2.5 years, let it get up right close to the election. Then they could say, oh, my goodness, we can't investigate now. It's too close to the election. And now we're after the election, and we have open, massive allegations of a lifetime of fraud on the part of Joe Biden. The evidence is there. It's not going away.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there, Mr. Mayor. On the part of Hunter Biden, but also it links to Joe Biden, do you believe?
Clearly. It's not even a question about it. The texts go right to Joe Biden. Hunter Biden explains that he's doing it for Joe. Hunter explains that Joe is the boss. Hunter explains that he gives half the money to Joe. You can't possibly open an investigation of Hunter Biden without opening an investigation of his boss, Joe Biden. It's right in the evidence itself. So if you take that hard drive and you take it as evidence, one of the targets of the investigation is Joe Biden. He's the main target. This isn't about Hunter Biden.
President Obama,
Joe was the big player.
President Obama had this ring of plausible deniability circling him all the time. So what are the things that everyone thought some of the things that everyone thought he was involved in, he kept it so that there was never an email tying it directly to the president, or never a conversation tying it directly to President Obama. It was always one of his senior aides or senior people. Do you think these things are actually tied to Joe? I understand Hunter says, hey, my dad's Vice President Joe Biden. Is there anything going the other way? Is there anything Vice President Joe Biden saying, yeah, I'm on board with this. Whatever Hunter says, I'm good with?
Well, sure there is. I mean, there's his partnership with the Chinese communists, which is only 1.5 years ago, in which he's described as the big guy, in which a memo is put out saying, please don't mention Joe Biden's name, but he's involved in this. There's overwhelming evidence of it. And then, of course, nobody subpoenaed his bank records yet. I mean, you've got 30 years of Joe Biden living like a multimillionaire on the salary of a senator. Where did that money come from? Well, it appears as if that money came from Hunter Biden.
Mr. Mayor, let me ask you this. Yeah, I got you. I get all that. Here's my biggest question. I watched Jeff Sessions, the former Attorney General, turn it over to Whitaker for a short period of time, and then go into Bill Barr, the current Attorney General still. And it seemed like Bill Barr was on the president's side. I guess that he can still be doing that because the president does appoint him. What is with the attorney generals under President Trump that they seem to have dropped the ball protecting the guy's the president's backside?
Well, you know what it is? They seem to be afraid to protect the country. I mean, the reality is the minute they heard the word Joe Biden, they ran for the hills. the logical process of law enforcement wouldn't take place the minute the word Joe Biden came up. There he is on tape admitting that he paid a bribe. They went ahead and tried to impeach President Trump for exactly what Joe Biden did. And they don't even see the contradiction in it. I mean, Joe Biden is on tape admitting that he bribed the president of Ukraine. He wants us to believe he didn't know his son was under investigation. Now the hard drive proves that he did know his son was under investigation. I mean, these are easy things to put together for a reasonably competent prosecutor who has good motives. You have to run away from this. You have to go hide.
So did
I don't know why.
Did Bill Barr fail? Did Bill Barr fail? Was he an incompetent attorney general?
Well, there's no question they failed to investigate these allegations in a timely way, which has created a crisis for our country. These allegations, I believe they're true, but whether they're true or not, they should have been investigated 2 years ago, a year ago. Not now. It should be over with by now. Right. On the idea that they were interfering in a presidential election by investigating a year and a half ago. They've absolutely interfered in the presidential election by not investigating.
Right. All right, Mr. Mayor, I got to leave it there. I want to remind everyone you can check out the Rudy Giuliani podcast. Give me the name of it, Mr. Mayor. The name of your podcast.
Rudy's Common Sense at rudyscommonsense.com. It's on twice a week.
There you go, rudyscommonsense.com, and also wherever you get your podcast. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.